Hello, friends. Pre-episode announcements. For the third week running, we have terrible audio issues once again. Oh my god, I really thought we had, fixed the mics after, we realized after we finished recording episode 2, we were like, oh my god, the mics were off. Good thing we fixed them now. We did not. This time Molly's mic was out the whole time, and then mine dropped out halfway through, but Mom's was on, and the, video camera microphone was on, so we had it's a little less bad than last time. Still not the best. Who cares? I do. This is going to be the last episode this month. Next week we are not going to be releasing an episode. We are going to be recording new episodes. We did 3 at a time that first time. That's how many we managed to get done. Maybe we're going to do 3 weeks on, 1 week off as our schedule. Maybe we'll be on all the time if we can manage to record more. I don't know. Like I said in the first episode, we're still getting used to the process of making this thing, so please bear with us. Once again, The Monkees is a children's show from the 60s. The Monkees Pod is not a children's show from 2025. In this episode, we talk about how Mike Nesmith made a computer horny. Enjoy the episode. Hello again. Welcome back to the Monkees Pod, a Monkees recap podcast. I'm Sommer.
I'm Lisa.
And I'm Molly.
Today we are covering Season 1, Episode 3, Monkee vs. Machine. One of the best Season 1 episodes. A very silly episode. Let's get into it. So the historical background I want to discuss for the premise on this one is kind of the way that the Monkees were marketed and merchandised to literal children, because they were a children's show. So the Beatles had a fan base of mostly young women, teenage girls. That's pretty well known. The peak of Beatlemania was around 1964. So all the kids who 2 years before had been into the Beatles are now a little bit older. But we really want to capture that little child who likes to play with toys market. There's multiple quotes in different places of the Monkees talking about how their fans were 10. And there also seems to have been a general perception of when people would hate on the Monkees compared to the Beatles, they'd be like, oh, that's for there's a line, I put a line about that in She Said.
Oh yeah.
Where
was it?
Where it was
you wrote it.
Well, yeah, we were there at Prudence's house, and they're like, oh, yeah, she has the Monkees, and what are you, 10?
Right, exactly.
Because they were kind of meant to be the Beatles for the younger siblings of the Beatles, of the Beatles maniacs, and also younger children didn't care so much about authenticity or being manufactured or whatever.
The quality of the music.
Or the quality of the music. They were like, hey, I like to watch those boys. And we were just talking about this. Your sister Jeannie is 10 years older than you, so she would have been the exact right age for the Monkees. She would have been 9 in 1966. We're gonna have to ask her about if she remembers anything about the Monkees' original airing.
When it was on originally.
Yeah,
we'll have her on.
The Monkees, in being merchandised to children, had a lot of toys and lunchboxes and products for children out there, which I can only imagine must be must have been extremely surreal for the Monkees themselves. Because imagine you're our age, and they're like, okay, we're going to make you basically into one of the Beatles cartoons, but using your real face and legal name.
Exactly. Because they had Barbie-esque dolls of them too, or action figure-esque dolls.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know, seeing my face on a lunchbox,
right,
it would be crazy.
Yeah.
On my shirt, if you can see camera, which doesn't include Davy, but it has these comic booky, cartoon-esque of them. I don't know if this was a design that they had in the day, but things like this.
They had they had a merch item that was a monkey sweatshirt patterned with little monkey logos and drawings and stuff. I think it's in actually one of the like 1 minute short segments later in the show, Davy talks about how like his brother-in-law or somebody who was like a really like big 6 foot tall guy and like ex-cop had to like break up a fight or something on the street while wearing a Monkee sweatshirt. And everyone was just like, and that kind of shows you like how they were perceived at the time. I get the sense now that they weren't taken very seriously by anyone.
Well, I don't think it was serious.
Well, yeah, but it like wasn't serious. But like people nowadays are like, they'll never be the Beatles. Well, yes.
Yeah, they weren't.
They weren't. And like people at the time who weren't 10, like I'm sure that they could tell exactly what they were doing.
Yeah.
They only like got nearly as popular as the Beatles because they were set up to be, not because they just naturally reached that point.
Yeah. Well, Mom, this is going to be relevant to this episode because this episode is kind of about children. And you were a child not in the 60s. Right. You were a baby in the 60s.
I was a child in the 70s.
Yeah, but that's like similar enough. You know, you were raised in a family of like older siblings who were like kids in the 60s, and you basically got all their stuff. Mm-hmm. So, how was it? How was it to be a child in the 70s? Like,
how so?
Like, how do you think it's different than like how like I was raised
and how you were raised? Yeah. Well, there wasn't as much stuff. Mm-hmm. There was a lot less stuff in general, and we had a lot less stuff than that because we didn't have a lot of money, and I was the 5th of 6, and so I was getting everything handed down to me and stuff. So that was different, and there was like the merchandising and stuff that, you know, now you growing up, anything you were interested in, there was 8 million things to have.
Harry Potter shelf.
Yeah, the whole Harry Potter shelf, the whole, you know, all of that. And that was kind of new, I think, in the 70s, the merchandising and stuff like that. So that was different. And we were a lot, you know, it was a lot more hands off.
Yeah, like you like played in the street after dark.
I played, my siblings, you know, had to watch me, and that was it.
Okay. Let's get into the episode. Okay. This episode was directed by Bob Rafelson himself, which he would come in and do that sometimes. And it was written by David Panich, which looks like David Panic. Panich. Who knows?
Okay. Could you review again who Bob
Rafelson is the producer of the entire show, whose like idea it was. He's the voice talking to them, like behind the camera in the interviews.
Okay. Just reviewing.
Mm-hmm. This one originally aired September 26, 1966. Let's get into it. So the Monkees are in the pad, and they get a phone call from the phone under their chessboard. It's a call from their landlord. He sounds like a Charlie Brown adult over the phone. He's harassing them about their rent. Davy goes, "Well, there's loads of jobs in the newspaper." And it is during the scene that we are jump scared with an extremely casual first shot of Mr. Schneider, who is the Monkees' giant ventriloquist dummy that they have. You know how
it's really scary.
How every 20-year-old boy apartment has that giant ventriloquist dummy. Much like the Monkees like being in a band, they just kind of like show Mr. Schneider and don't explain him in this episode.
No, like many things in their home go unexplained, but it's one of the strangest, and like it's not necessarily decor. Like he just exists among them.
He's alive. Like he's like sentient.
Does he move around?
He doesn't move, but like he gives like intelligent answers on his like pull string, whatever.
Oh, okay.
He's not like even a like talking ventriloquist dummy. He's like a big doll with a pull string. Where did they get
life
him?
size? It's not like he looks a little bit bigger than the Monkees.
Yeah, They're all pretty little skinny boys, and Mr. Schneider is like the size of a regular adult man.
He definitely has some height on Davy.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine how that must feel.
Mr. Schneider is the character that appears second most in the Monkees, other than the Monkees. He appears in more episodes than the landlord does.
Okay.
You know the meme of the like of One Direction where it's like Harry, sexy and smart.
Yes.
Zayn, or whatever. Which one's the Irish one? One of them. Niall, cute and Irish.
Cute and Irish.
I saw somebody make an edit of that, but since there wasn't like a fifth Monkee, they made the fifth Monkee Mr. Schneider.
Oh, that's good. cute
Yeah.
and giant spooky doll. Like,
cute and haunted.
yes, that's good.
I feel like were ventriloquist dummies more like ubiquitous in the
Well,
like,
it was
in the 20th century?
after, because it came after vaudeville. Like vaudeville was
Right.
still in the consciousness. Not that vaudeville was alive, but it
But,
was
like,
still a thing.
The effects, the tropes
Yes,
of it.
and the performers who had done it were still around.
Yeah.
So it was a.
So it was the equivalent of referencing the 60s today.
Yeah.
You could say.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mr. Schneider, I believe, is named after Bert Schneider, the secondary producer. Isn't that sweet that he
How kind.
How kind.
This is how we see you.
Maybe that's what he deserves, though, because he was kind of part of the machine that chewed up the Monkees. So in the newspaper that the Monkees are looking for jobs in, there is a role for a toy factory looking for a non-essential role that requires no training and no experience. And the Monkees are like, Peter, you're perfect for this.
You have no experience.
You're so mean to him. I'm mad. I get mad when they are mean to TV Peter because he's a baby. You can't hurt him. And Mickey's hair in this episode is like literally the worst thing I've ever seen.
Really bad.
Atrociously mushroom.
Yeah, it's like.
But it's flat.
It's flat. It's from the back of his head.
It just like also just like the mushroominess is like it kind of like curves out at the end.
It has like a bump at the bottom. It's like weirdly like too long. Like his hair looks. It doesn't look great at any point when they're straightening it, but like just move the bang to the side. Ugh. So Mike and Micky then dress Peter up for his job interview. They put him in a suit, and the homoerotic touching that they make, like the Monkees are always all over each other, which the Beatles were too. Which, on the one hand, I'm like, okay, this is just a sign that like the culture wasn't so no homo yet, and like boys could just like be friends with each other and like touch each other. But also the Monkees were not really like super good friends in real life.
Right, like it's stranger that they scripted it.
Yeah, I'm like, did they get a note where they're like, yeah, like touch him more? Yeah,
Perhaps.
like are they them sleeping in the same bed? Like Peter gets to the toy factory office, and all the set decorations are these really great 60s vintage toys. They weren't vintage then, obviously. They were just toys. But they're all stuff that I want for my collection as a toy collector, especially Baby Secret. Baby Secret, there's like 6 Baby Secrets in the background. Baby Secret is my #1 Holy Grail collector doll. She's a baby doll that Mattel made in 1966.
Is she the one that whispers?
Yes.
Oh
She had a
God.
pull string, and she would whisper to you at night, and her like little rubber mouth would move, and she would be like, I have a secret for you.
Mattel's new baby secret. She whispers just to you. Her lips really move.
I want to tell you something.
And she's
Who wanted this? That's
me.
cool. Oh my.
I would love if I had her. I could be a good mother.
What's the going rate for one of these on like eBay? Are they difficult to find?
I haven't looked into like buying one on the internet because I like to collect my dolls in person.
Oh, that makes sense.
But also like all the ones that are available on the internet look really, really busted.
Mm-hmm.
Like their hair is like messed up and stuff.
From girls who had to fight back.
Yeah, from people who had to choke them out in the middle of the night when they would crawl up to the bed.
Right.
I think that Baby Secret is a lovely girl, and I would be proud to be her mother.
It's a cute doll.
Yeah,
it's just the
whispering.
Whoa.
Like why is she doing
a talking doll is one thing. A whispering doll
Yeah.
is another thing.
Yeah. There's some other stuff in the background there. Which toy you
I saw
have?
a See and Say, and then, but you guys had See and Says, but those were like the original See and Says. Do you remember your See and Say?
Is that the like
It's
the
a circular
the
one.
Thingy?
with the animals or shapes
Yeah,
or whatever?
yeah,
and
yeah,
you,
yeah.
Like, match it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it makes the sound or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah. But I saw See and Says, and then I thought there was like a Mrs. Beasley doll, which is from I might get this wrong, Courtship of Eddie's Father, I think, which was a TV show.
Okay.
I think that was where Mrs. Beasley doll was.
A show called Courtship of
Eddie's
Eddie's
Father.
father had children. Merch?
Yeah, it was a courtship. Well, little girl had a doll.
Oh.
It was
it a
her doll,
children's show?
so I think.
No, it was an adult show with a piece of children's merch.
Well, yeah, because it was an adult show about a father who was a widow and his children.
Well, I guess back then, like
And
when there were 3 TV channels. Everyone kind of watched it.
Yeah, the lines
every
were
so
blurred.
long.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
So I think that's what the doll I was looking at with, and I think that's the show it's from. I'm not 100% sure that is correct.
Mm-hmm.
That might not be correct.
Historical correction. Mom, you're right. It was not the courtship of Eddie's father. It was Family Affair. But I don't blame you for getting mixed up, because they appear to be shows with like near identical plots. Something in the 60s and 70s, you could have a show where the plot was a single father, and that was like enough of a amusement or enough of a curiosity that was good enough to be the basis of a show, I guess. I also saw some Barbies and Barbie fashion packs back there. I don't think they're like actual Rushton rubber faces, but like it's a similar Rushton rubber face type plushies. And I also want to mention the impact of the hula hoop craze of the 1950s, which I only know they mentioned it in an episode of You're Wrong About, which is one of my favorite podcasts. I think it was actually on an episode of American Hysteria. But American Hysteria and You're Wrong About are sister podcasts, and both of them are excellent, and I love them both, so you should listen to both. And it is also mentioned in We Didn't Start the Fire. Okay. So hula hoops as like a toy craze must
They joke about it in Little Shop of Horrors as well.
Yeah, and in the Alvin and the Chipmunk song, Christmas, Time is Here.
True.
Me, I Want a Hula Hoop. So this must have been like the fidget spinners of the 50s, right? Or like that's going back further than like
give your child a plastic circle.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What about it? Who was it?
This was like everyone had one.
I think that like when we get like the toy that like the old guy brings out in this episode, it seems related to that, you know?
Yes,
like,
I
just
agree.
Like outdoor lawn toy play toy.
It's just
a random object that children have found entertainment in, and now we're going to merchandise it.
Yeah. Well, that's just, he made a boomerang.
Well, yeah. But
he didn't intend to make a
We'll
boomerang.
get into that. That plot point is messy. We'll get into that. In an eerie echo of our Black Mirror modern dystopia, instead of a human interviewer, Peter gets put into a spooky room with a computer, because he is about to sit down for an AI job interview. Here we come. I can't believe that the plot of this episode is something that I am so actively facing in my modern daily life.
Right. They warned us about AI, and we did not listen from 1966.
Yeah. Like, the way it plays out, it literally being like the AI...
Yeah, like it's like AI is going to steal your jobs.
AI is going to steal your jobs. AI is going to incorrectly bar you from jobs you were qualified for.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And the computer itself, I find pretty funny. You know what it instantly reminded me of, the way the computer is portrayed in this, is the scene in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, where where at the beginning they're trying to predict where the chocolate will be, and the guy is like, I have built this computer that will tell me the location of the chocolate, and then it like spits out a paper.
That's what they told us the computers were. Like, but the computers were rooms.
With buttons. Yeah.
A computer was an entire room. Mm-hmm. It took an entire room up, because it had tubes and wires, and it wasn't like chips. Mm-hmm. It was tubes and the punch cards, like what they would spit out, what you would program it with was punch cards that had holes in certain parts in it, and then you would feed it into the computer and it would read where the holes are, and that was where they were getting the data from. That was how the data was. So it was like a computer was an actual room. So when they started showing them on TV, and movie stuff, they had to create something like a box that you could understand. There were buttons on it. You push the buttons. It talks.
The computer is voiced by James Frawley, apparently, who's the guy that directed the last 2 episodes. It said he was uncredited, but now we know.
Now we've credited him.
Yeah. So the computer does a little like who's on first bit with Peter, where he goes, it's like, what's your name? He's like, what? Thank you, Mr. What? What is your first name? No, it's not what. Oh, your first name is not what?
I really found this exchange funny. I was genuinely cackling, and like I was really thinking, like, I don't know why this humor holds up, and if I'm like finding it funny in like an ironic way that it was intended for then, or do I just have 1960s humor?
I think that sequence holds up. It's basically who's on first,
Yeah.
It goes. It's like, in your spare time, you are a man.
That was my favorite part.
Yeah. In your spare time, you are a man. It's not wrong. So anyway, the AI it gets Peter confused, takes all the wrong answers, and it rejects his application. Because AI job interviewers have always been stupid and bad. And Peter says, why did I have to talk to a machine? Why couldn't I talk to a human being? And then the computer says, because a machine avoids the human error. Like, this is literally... I love the Monkees because being 24 and broke has always been the exact same thing. Like, I'm literally Peter Tork.
You're literally still Peter Tork.
Yeah.
What I found so interesting is, like, that was also funny, but then Peter seemed like very genuinely upset. Like, he's very genuinely portraying his fear of the rise of technology, and I can't help but think that he had some, like, divine vision of the future, and he's like, this is the world we're setting up for our children.
Peter is such a sweetie, his big boba eyes. His big boba eyes. So then Peter comes home after being rejected from the job interview, and Mike's like, don't worry, Pete, Daddy's got this. So he walks into the job interview with confidence and swag, and by asking the computer the exact questions it asked Peter in the first place, he confuses the computer. And the computer gets flustered and breaks, and the tone of the interaction is weirdly sexually charged. Mike slides up on the chair, and then he like puts his arm on the computer, and then he goes, sex, and then the computer starts like spitting out smoke and groaning, and then he like waves up and he's like, "Ooh, you must be a real swinger when you're turned on." What?
Whoa. Can you say that in a children's show?
So since Mike is a genius who can press all the computer's buttons in just the right ways, it spits out a result that he has the highest IQ ever, and the company employs him instantly. Mike is the parent Monkee so much on the show, which is funny because Peter was the oldest in real life, but like I guess they were just like, he doesn't have the temperament to be the dad.
Grown up.
Yeah.
He has the sweet little angel face.
Yeah, and Mike is like, he had a child, he had a wife, he had responsibilities.
This is true.
Well, Peter was divorced by the time he got on the show, so like.
Well, that's not a good role model for the father of the Monkees.
But the thing is, like, in the show, they like, obviously Mike's not, like, married with a child in the show, but they're, like, he has that energy, so he must, and he's wearing the hat. He's wearing the hat in the relationship. So after being hired, Mike meets the company president, J.B. Guggins, which is a beautiful name, he's like an incompetent sultan.
J.B. Guggins Jr.
And oh, you're right. J.B. Guggins Jr., because he has a picture of his father hanging.
Which is just him.
He is like the incompetent sultan, and his scheming vizier, Daggert. I continue to refer to him throughout the rest of the script as the vizier, so we're just going to call him that. He's like middle management or something, but he's the real, the boss in charge of the puppet head of this company. And then comes into the office, Pop Harper, the old toy maker who's been working at the factory, and he's been promised his job for life. He comes in with his toy, which is a colorful rod.
That bends.
He's like, look, it can be a circle or a
cylinder, or like something like that.
And it doesn't look fun at all.
No.
It doesn't look like a toy that makes sense at all.
Oh, it's just a stick.
Yeah.
Was there anything similar, aside from hula hoops, that children would play with in the day?
I mean,
toys this
like
simple?
Silly putty.
Pet rock.
Pet
I
rock.
guess kids were easy to please.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else. I mean, really, it's like ball.
Yeah. And I
blocks.
There's a hoop and stick.
Hoop and stick.
Yeah. Hoop and stick. Wait. The cup with the ball where you catch it.
Paddle ball.
Yeah.
Well, with the
and like dangerous toys that kill you with lead.
Like darts. No. Lawn darts. Yeah.
The Monkees proceed to help Pop Harper throughout the rest of the episode, despite the fact that his toy sucks. and we just like him because he's the good old man who wants to make toys for good reasons, to have fun with children, and not the evil capitalist who just wants to make money.
Right. And they don't let AI take his job, because that would just be wrong.
Yeah. And you understand what they're going for. But his toy is so nothing that it just like doesn't connect, you know? Daggert is like, we were replacing everyone with AI. Fuck you, get out. Mike has a little like genuine acting moment where he like goes like, I'm sorry you lost your job to the guy, and I'm like, look at him act. I like the early episodes because Mike is still happy to be there and excited that he got cast at the show, and I'm not tired of being on the show yet.
There was so much like hope left in his eyes.
Yeah, he got real sick of like the Monkees and his own reputation pretty quickly. But at the beginning, because he was kind of just like broke and doing nothing before getting cast on the show, he was so excited, and I love it. So they're back at the pad. Mike is like conflicted about being a part of the corrupt system of the AI tech toy company. But the rest of the Monkees are like, dude, we can pay rent now, so it doesn't matter. And before we go into our first song of the episode, we have this weird exchange where Micky goes, yeah, what better place is there to work than a toy factory? Peter goes, yeah, play with the kids and all. You know how all 20, 25-year-old boys
like to play with the kids.
To play with kids.
Dream of a job.
They just want to play. And you also know how at the factory where the toys are manufactured, that's where the kids hang out.
You play with the
You
kids.
play with the kids at the toy factory. But it turns out that they only said that because it was like a segue into the song Saturday's Child, which was written by David Gates. It's sung by Micky. It's a pretty good song. It's one of my favorites off their first album, I think. And the music video for this one
Let's get it.
the music video for this one is the Monkees running around on the beach playing with a car full of
a dune buggy
full of like 12 or 15 4 to 8-year-old children
that they pile on the back of the dune buggy.
It's a dune
Standing while driving.
Mike is driving it. Whenever there's any car on the show, they don't get a stunt driver or anything. They make Mike drive. Mike really liked cars, and he like collected cars and had a bunch of cars. So he probably like likes driving, and also it like goes to the image of him being like the parent monkey.
The first thing I saw though, and actually you see clips of this in a previous episode because they use it for Last Train to Clarksville and the other one, but I was just like, why are they allowing these children to ride on the back of this open dune buggy down the beach?
Seatbelts.
No seatbelts. They weren't even in seats. They were just standing.
Like one of them's like hanging off of Davy's neck like this. Like
I was
know
like,
we didn't
this
care
is
about safety back then, but like, how did anyone not get hurt?
yeah. Well, we did ride in the back of station wagons with no seatbelts, like facing backwards or on a bench seat. Like, so, I mean, we were, that was the safety, but that was like over the top unsafe.
Yeah.
And then they're playing on the beach at the playground on the beach. So there's swings and they're just running around.
And they're like Peter's hanging on the swing, the swing, and then like all the children come down and like attack him.
Yeah.
And they're like sitting on each other while swinging.
Yeah,
and they're like,
which was odd. And
then
there was a slide.
There was a hot metal slide
in the middle of the beach.
In the middle of the beach.
These children have third-degree burns.
I also am gonna note right now, whenever they go on there is like one exception to this in the entire show. Like Mike always refuses to get naked. They
on him.
They
should not have to.
No, he should not have to. They have Davy naked in like every episode. And sometimes you can tell, like, from the title of the episode, the excuse they're going to make to take Davy's shirt off. Yeah, actually, a lot of the times they're on the beach, like, they don't, like, take their shirts off or, like, wear appropriate beach clothes or anything.
Just, like, when they're also in this music video riding motorcycles around for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Like, the rest of them are wearing normal clothes, and then
Davy just has his shirt off. It's like, okay.
Well, I think sometimes, though, the clips are like from other episodes, too, and they just blend them in because you'll see... one of them's wearing a black and white striped shirt, and that keeps popping up. And it's like, it didn't make any sense because they were at the beach, and now they're not at the beach, and they're running around these other clothes.
It's non-linear.
Yes.
There's also, like, a part where, like, they like, there's a little, like, 3-year-old girl, and they just have her in, like, a diaper, and, like, Davy's, like playing with her on the horse, and I'm like, this is weird. Like, they wouldn't do that nowadays.
It's like a horse.
Yeah.
An explained horse.
Like,
though.
Why are we 4 adult men playing with, like, naked little kids that we don't know and, like, sitting them on our laps and,
yeah,
it's just, like, and, like, obviously it's innocent, but it's just...
Who were these children?
Yeah, who are these kids? Who are these kids?
They're not even the kids that are in the toy factory.
Yeah.
No, they're not. They're like a different set of
they're not in the plot.
Like we pointed out, there was one child who actually looked like me.
Yeah, we have I don't. You probably can't see this. I'll zoom in editing, but this is a picture of Mom in when she was like 4, and one of the children on the show
who comes running up in this plaid like short set, and she's got the little dark hair,
like little bowl cut
dark hair, and her skin was a little browner than everybody else's, a little bit darker than everybody else's, and it looked like me. And I was like, yeah, I would have had that plaid outfit on, and that was me running down the beach.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, you realize the child is Asian.
Yeah. To clarify, Mom is 100% white. She's just the type of tan Italian that Ariana Grande used to be. And she has been mistaken for pretty much every race under the sun by strangers. That's another thing. There are a couple of non-white children in that little crowd, which I thought that was cool because like ultimately like the Monkees were for the children, so like
they were
to bring in
appealing to diverse masses.
Yeah, to bring them in. You know what it kind of gives the playing with kids in a way that like we're like this kind of creepy nowadays. Yeah. That you know the song in Santa Claus is Coming to Town where he's like, if you sit on my lap today, he's like, it's a song about like kissing kids, like kissing kids to get a present, like. It was a different time.
It was a different time.
You know that Davy got to be geeked, so he got to ride a horse.
True, he could have been a jockey. If you don't know, in the Monkees audition tapes, they're talking to Davy, and then he was like, "Oh, I tried being a jockey, because he's supposed to be short and small." But then they were like, "Oh, did you get paid to do that?" And he was like, "No, you need to go through all this jockey training or whatever." And then he does this like little dance, and it's ridiculous. And then they're like, "Maybe you should have been a jockey." Yeah. So poor Davy, but he got to live out his jockey dreams.
His jockey dreams. There's a couple times on the show when there's horses, and whenever there's horses, and like. There's an episode way later where he does like a stunt where he rides the horse backwards, and like you can tell that he knows how to stop the horse, but he's like acting like he doesn't. It's very cute. They reused the same like footage of them from being on bikes and unicycles from literally an episode ago. And in the middle of the like unicycle footage, there's a random shot where Mike is holding a rifle, and it goes by for like 1 second. You're like, whoa, what?
For what reason we don't know. Yeah. Maybe it'll come back in a future montage.
Yeah, who knows? There's a secret different continuity going on in the song montages. After that lovely song, we need a plan to save Pop Harper's job. Luckily, there's a panel of children coming to test the toys tomorrow, and Mike says, "You got it, babe," which is fun. I like when they call each other babe because it's like a 60s slangs. I like when in the show a lot they use really specific 60s slang. They say groovy so much in season 2 and I love it. And then Mike says, "Here's our plan. Repeat after me. Goo, goo, ga, ga. Goo, goo, ga, ga, rah, rah, ro mama, ga, ga, ooh la la."
Launch about romance.
Cut to the toy testing panel. Baby Secret is back there. There's multiple baby secrets in that scene, and I'm always keeping my eye on them. So the kids who are going to be on the panel and all their moms come in, including, and then Mike's like, "But we have one more," and then they come in, and the child is Davy dressed like a child, and the mom is Peter in drag. The Monkees are in drag so much.
Would you believe this? What was the...
it was like...
Do you believe this?
Can you believe this?
I'm like, yes, I do believe it.
I do believe that Davy is a child. Yes. I do believe that. It's very believable. This tiny little segment in the 3rd episode is the only time in the show that Peter is in drag. No. The rest of them are...
That actually surprises me.
Yeah. Peter was only in drag once. Mike was only in drag once, but oh boy, was Mike in drag. We'll get there.
Davy was a
Davy and Micky are like quite a bit. I've heard from a lot of my Monkees knowledge is just like unsourced things that I heard on Twitter in the group chat one time. So if I ever say something on the podcast that is like objectively factually incorrect, and you notice, let me know and I'll make a correction in a later episode. But I will continue to say things that I just heard on Twitter one time because some of them are entertaining. But I've heard that the reason that Peter and Mike like didn't want to do drag as much was like it just like they were just like, "I don't want to be in drag. It's gay. It makes me uncomfortable." But then also that like the weird old like PAs on the set would like hit on them when they were in drag and like catcall them and and they were like, I don't want to do
I
that.
believe that more. I don't believe the other thing because Peter Tork canon bisexual.
Well, yeah, but not,
I guess not at the time.
Like in the sense that like it's the 60s and they're already having like their masculinity policed for having like long hair and stuff, and they just it's understandable that they would have like mixed feelings about it. I also want to like point out how casual cross-dressing like was, and it truly astounds me how much mass hysteria.
It was done as
a joke.
It was done as a joke. It was played as a joke all the time.
But it was such a casual, chill, funny joke.
Oh yeah,
that was harmless and meant nothing.
It was.
If you put that on TV nowadays, there would be a crazy, like hallucinating scapegoat over trans people. You know.
But I mean, it was up through the 80s.
Yeah. Right.
That cross-dressing was like it was the plot.
Yeah. It was never thought of as like, oh, this is a weird perverted thing that we're showing to children. It's just like a common comedy trope that has existed in all forms of media and theater and society for all of human history. Right. You know. But like also contextually at the time, they like to put those boys in drag a lot to the point where I'm like, this is like you putting them in drag gives similar vibes to you tying them up all the time. Like how many episodes can we break them being in drag into? Because it's a lot. So then the panel proceeds the first toy test. The vizier is like, okay, children, we're going to test the attention span of these toys. Play, children, play. And then they all have like a truck on their desk and they just kind of like roll it back and forth a little bit.
Trucks are also
missile launchers.
Yeah. Which I guess
because
it's the Cold War. And,
learn how to. It's an educational toy.
It's an educational toy. You can learn to kill.
Yeah. This is what the Vizier Man says.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But Davy has a yo-yo.
Which is much more entertaining to these children than their missile launcher toys. Davy distracts all the children with his cool yo-yo, and then the children beat up the vizier when he tries to take it away.
literally beat this guy up.
Yeah. Therefore, proving next focus group. He's like, Nesmith, you've got rid of that troublemaking child, right? And he's like, of course I have. And then Davy comes right back in, but he's the mom this time.
He looks quite good in that.
He looks
distracting.
He looks so perfectly womanly. Like his wig is beautiful.
Yeah, it's a nice wig.
His outfit is cute.
Yeah.
The other boys, it seems like they put them in like some like frumpy mom wear with like these weird.
Davy, they just dressed him as a girl.
They were just like, what if you were just pretty?
Yeah, yeah. And they're like, he doesn't look old enough to have a mother. To be a mother. He doesn't look old enough to have a child.
Girl.
Yeah. And also his child Micky is taller than him, of course. So they're testing the durability of the next toy, and Micky explodes it with the dynamite and punk thing that he had in his pocket.
Like Wile E. Coyote.
Like Wile E. Coyote. In a small room filled with children, he does this.
Oh, he does move him, though. He does move the child. He makes a point of telling that kid to move out of the way.
Uh-huh.
Very polite.
Thank you, Micky. The third focus group, the mother in this one is Micky, and the child is Peter. And they do a freeze frame on Peter, and it says, "Send this boy to camp." What does that mean?
It means it means send. It's not send this boy to camp. It's send this boy to camp, so that you would raise money for. You would there would be ads in the paper, and it would
of a random boy to send to camp.
Yeah, well, it would be like it would be like programs for the underprivileged.
Oh, okay. So it wouldn't be one. It would not be one specific boy that you were sending to camp.
Well, they would put an ad. They put child, send this boy to camp, and then you would donate money to send children to camp.
So what's the joke here? Because then it being explained makes it sound like Peter's a specifically underprivileged boy.
Well, he's a boy.
Yeah,
like this is a child you're looking
he's
at.
A boy. Yeah, he's not 25. They make the Monkees like. Not only do they put them in like cross-dressing, they put them in like cross-age. They make them act like kids a lot.
Right.
Which again, this is probably the like appealing to 10-year-olds thing, where they're like. They infantilize them in a lot of other ways too, like with having them not drink or smoke on the show and stuff, which is to make them non-threatening and relatable. And it's probably also why they write TV Peter in the way that they do, where they're like. The thing is, though, he's so dumb that he's not like even childlike. It's like beyond that.
Right.
Peter Tork reminds me of PJ Duncan from Good Luck Charlie. Like the way that they characterize him in the show and looks-wise. He looks like him.
Well, you know what? They did that to Joey on Friends. They made him,
Yes.
like, he didn't start out that way, but they made him dumber and, like, you know, like more childlike as it went on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The Monkees does that too. It's only 2 seasons, but like a lot of times in season 1, it's like Peter is stupid and Mike, Micky, and Davy are normal. In season 2, Mike, Micky, and Davy are stupid and Peter is brain dead. So after all the focus testing, the Vizier tells Guggins that it's actually okay that the toy stuck, because if a child loses interest in a toy, they'll just buy a new one. Planned obsolescence. Which again, how do you all know this in 1966? How are we still doing the same stuff?
We're doing the same stuff.
Yeah. And then Mike's like, hold on. And then he brings in Pop Harper, who once again, I would like to emphasize that his toy sucks and is nothing. So why are you supporting this, Monkees? And then the Vizier is like, you wanted to help Pop Harper, I'm on to you. And he goes back to the focus group room, and Micky in his pretty convincing like woman voice, he's like, oh, this is my real son. I read to him every day before school. And then Peter's like, she reads to me while I'm shaving. He's not a real kid. And then the guy like snatches his hat and Micky's wig snatched. And then he snatches a random mom who was there for the focus group's skirt off.
He transvestigated
her.
It's so sad.
Yeah, transphobia hurts cis women as well, and we can see this.
It hurts everyone.
And we can see this in the Monkees, the seminal LGBT work of our time. So everybody's fired. We're back at the pad, and Pop Harper is now hanging out in the Monkees' house with them.
Because why not?
Because why not? I wonder, like, what he had to say about Mr. Schneider. Gotta come back to our house, Pop. And Pop Harper is like, I hate my stupid toy. I mean, just get rid of it. I don't want to ever see it again. Get rid of it. And Mike's like, okay.
Which Mike takes to mean throw it out the window.
Yeah, but first Mike bends it into like a boomerang shape and then throws it out the window. And then it comes back in the window. And then Davy sees it and he throws it back out the window. And then it comes back out the window. And they're like, I think we're onto something here. So, you know, now that the toy is a boomerang, I understand like the utility of it. But before, when it was nothing.
It was nothing.
Well, you can make it into anything you want.
You can make it into anything you want that's already shaped like a rod.
Pop Harper did not have the intention that you could make it into anything fun.
Yeah, you can make it into, maybe you can do like a circle. When Pop Harper's demonstrating it, he turns it into like a Z shape and then he straightens it back out, and that's like all he does. Like it doesn't look very fun. I don't think he knew what it was. I think Mike kind of made his toy for him, and he didn't do anything. They're like,
so you're old shaming.
Yeah, I am old shaming. I'm ageist. So
Pop Harper.
Oh, Pop Harper. So Mike shows the boomerang to the bosses, and he's like, "Look, it's a toy you can't throw away." And the Vizier is like, "Well, that's useless because we want children to throw their toys away." And Mike's like, well, if you think it's so useless, why don't you get rid of it? and we all know that getting rid of something, the only way to do that is to throw it out the window. So it comes right back.
But who was it? Peter closed the window.
Well, that's at the end.
Oh,
we're
sorry.
getting there. We're getting there. So then Guggins, for once in his miserable life, stands up to his Vizier and is like, "You're fired. I'm going with this old idiot." Although I will say, it's not like the implementation of AI was helping the company much, because they rejected Peter when he was a perfectly good applicant.
And then all they made were missile launchers.
Yeah. So
it's okay.
Yeah, the show does a thing sometimes where like they just say stuff and you have to accept it. Like the suspension of disbelief ceiling is extremely high. Like I understood what they're going for with the plot point, because you want to be like, yeah, we should, making toys is about bringing children joy. It's not about profits. But just like the way the whole plot point is handled is so clunky and weird, and it could have used another draft. Anyway, the Vizier gets fired, and Pop is promoted for his invention of the boomerang, which Mike names the Monkee Rang. Didn't boomerangs already exist?
Yes, of course they did.
So this is so there's nothing. So this is nothing.
He's not invented anything.
He hasn't done
shit. It doesn't even like have the monkeys on it.
No,
yeah. Nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, why is it named a monkey ring?
Because he says
Because he's a monkey.
Monkey ring.
Yeah.
Because it
Because I'm a
always
monkey.
comes back. He
Like,
says that.
yeah.
Well, what does that mean?
Because the monkeys always
They
come back.
always come back.
Yeah. And I guess at the end of the episode, Mike and Peter closes the window, and then it smashes through the window. Peter's like, "Oh, it's chilly in here," and it's not. He's just doing it to set up because he's stupid. And I guess at the end of the episode, Mike doesn't work at the company anymore because they don't say why.
Isn't Pop Harper takes his job? Or
Oh, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe it is because he was like the head of everything
Mm-hmm.
when he got hired. So they gave
But
that
why? But since Mike has been so kind to him, why would he not keep him on?
because he doesn't need any more money to pay the rent.
Right, the classic plot where they decide they didn't
Oh,
do
yeah,
that
they just
after
did-
all.
Oh, by
I
the
just
way,
forgot.
I guess I forgot why I was working there.
He's like I have to go be in the Monkees. I'm too busy to have a job. But anyway, he doesn't work at the company anymore, but it's fine because Pop Harper gave them their very own computer, which is named DJ69. Nice. And it will tell them various job ideas for jobs that they should get. And much like a rogue AI, all of its suggestions are wrong and useless. And he's like, you should seek employment as take the last train to Clarksville, and we go into another fucking music video of Clarksville for the third week in a row.
No, it's the second one, but
It's
the
the second one. It's
Yeah,
the
second one.
They play it again in the next week.
they
They
play
play it
the third week.
Yeah,
Just
and
got Clarksville
like it's like a montage of them doing like various jobs. Like
construction workers.
they're farmers. They're like different things.
Yeah.
It's episode 3. How are we already reusing songs? Like, I suppose the
And
whole
they're
album
using it
wasn't out
from
yet.
the prior episode.
Yeah.
It was
Because also, so you wrote down when it was filmed and when it was aired, right?
Yeah.
Like they've at least a couple months.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they write the music?
I have no
Why?
idea. Yeah, they filmed them in June and they started airing in September. But like
That's plenty of time to write.
let me see. Does the album? It's not gonna have a month. Yeah, it just says 1966.
But who was choosing these songs? We all love Last Train to Clarksville, but
Take the last train to
it's too
Clarksville.
soon.
Get fucking Clarksville. It's in like 5 more episodes. I maybe we should. And I lost my train of thought, so we'll edit that out.
Your train of Clarksville.
I lost my train. To
it got
Clarksville.
on.
My
I lost my train of thought. It got on the train to Clarksville. It's on its way to Clarksville. It was the last train. It caught the last train. I can't
follow it
I
because
can't-
there are no more trains to
to
Clarksville.
Clarksville. So my thought is in Clarksville, and I'm stuck here. Sorry.
Where is Clarksville? Is it?
Yeah, I'm assuming it's a real place.
Who knows? It sounds.
Well, I'm sure it's somewhere.
Yeah,
We could
it's
look that one
probably
up.
somewhere.
Okay, I looked it up later. It's in Tennessee.
I know that the Monkees, their first ever like live music appearance concert thing, they like did it in some town, and they turned the town into Clarksville. And
Okay.
they changed all the signs.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Immersive.
Yeah.
Monkeys.
And they put the Monkees up on stage, and none of them could play their instruments yet. But it didn't matter because the girls were Beatles screaming so loud that no one could hear anyway.
Oh, genius.
I think that's going to do it for this episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we've all left for Clarksville.
We've all left for Clarksville. Monkey out.
Monkey out.
Yeah.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Monkees Pod. We're going to be back in 2 weeks with more episodes. Get ready. You can follow us on Instagram and the website formerly known as Twitter @MonkeesPod. And thank you for listening. Shut up, theater kid. Oh my god. Bye.